No longer an urgent suggestion, it is an order. The governor will require everyone wear a face mask when shopping or using public transportation. And this comes as the number of cases statewide jumps again. More than 10,000 patients have tested positive. 349 people have died. Despite that, there are signs of hope. WJZ is live. Amy Kawada has more from Governor Larry Hogan. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning, Lynn. The governor says we're finally starting to see a light at the end of the tunnel here, but reopening the state would require a lot more testing and tracking those who test positive.
The worst possible thing we could do is to take actions too quickly and then have that spike so we look like New York and we have thousands of people die and hundreds of thousands of people sick and we overload our hospital system, because then it's very hard to get that genie back in the bottle.
While Governor Hogan says Maryland has yet to peak, hospitalization rates are stabilizing, and the state is forming a recovery plan that requires expanded testing.
It is too soon to say, yes, we're going to start opening everything. We're not going to flip a light switch, but it's not too soon to start laying out what that would look like and maybe start considering when the first steps might take place.
Maryland has also stepped up contact tracing to see who positive patients may have exposed. The number of people doing that work will quadruple to 1,000.
In order to massively increase that workforce, we will need to ramp up considerably in order that we can reach every single new COVID positive case in this state, and that is the goal, to suppress this virus.
Governor Hogan issued an executive order requiring people to wear some sort of face covering inside stores and on public transit. The executive order goes into effect at 7 Saturday morning and also applies to employees.
The wearing of masks is also something that we may have to become more accustomed to in order to safely reopen our state.
Governor Hogan says he desperately needs more federal help, and today he plans to meet with President Trump. And the governor also said that before the state reopens, we need a lot more protective equipment. Meanwhile, a new drive-through testing site will be opening here today at the state fairgrounds. It will be open on Tuesdays and Thursdays and only available to patients who have a medical order from a doctor. Reporting live this morning, I'm Amy Kawada for WJZ.
Amy, thank you. And there's an update on the coronavirus outbreak at a Carroll County retirement community. Officials report a second person has died from COVID-19 at the Carroll Lutheran Village in Westminster. Right now, there's a total of 31 residents and 7 staff members at the community who have tested positive. And there's an update on coronavirus cases among some essential workers in Baltimore. The U.S. Postal Service says 11 employees at Baltimore facilities have tested positive. This comes as 20 new police officers and 4 civilian employees of the police department also tested positive. Right now, 27 members of the department are out on quarantine. 305 Baltimore Police Department employees have been cleared to return to work.
6:35 now. It is now the biggest nursing home outbreak in Maryland. 170 positive cases confirmed at Future Care Lockern in Northwest Baltimore. WJZ is live there this morning. Mike Shue with more on how these cases were uncovered. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Tim. The inability to test people who seemed healthy has allowed this virus to spread. So when this home found enough kits to test everyone, the staff and the residents here, the results were staggering. 170 people have the virus here, many not showing any symptoms at all. It is the largest outbreak of COVID-19 inside a nursing home in the state. 170 is the total. 129 of those testing positive are residents. The other 41 staff at the Future Care Lockern Senior Center in Northwest Baltimore. Outside, healthcare workers don full protective gear before going inside.
We were extremely concerned.
This home is located in the 21215 zip code. It's the zip with the highest number of COVID-19 cases in the state. City Council President Brandon Scott says he wants the patients inside to know they're working to try to keep them safe.
We have to communicate with that population to make sure that we're keeping them informed and keep them healthy and safe and alive. Everybody has to be communicated with consistently, especially the most vulnerable.
Future Care is 15 facilities in the region. Tuesday, the Baltimore City Health Department says it brought in a strike team with the National Guard to Future Care Lockern to triage patients and help stop the spread. The governor says that this facility now will only house COVID-19 residents and patients, that everyone who did not test positive, well, they will be moved out. I'm Mike Shue reporting live in Lochern for WJZ.
Mike, thank you. The number of confirmed coronavirus cases in the U.S. hits the 600,000 mark, and more than 30,000 people have died. President Trump says today his administration will announce new guidelines aimed at restarting the economy. He says the guidance will be shared with the nation's governors. Meanwhile, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is tightening his state's social distancing rules. He is ordering everyone wear a face covering when they can't stay at least 6 feet apart.
You're now at an intersection, and there are people in the intersection, and you're going to be in proximity to other people. Put the mask on.
Cuomo says that includes busy sidewalks, stores, and public transportation. But in Michigan, protesters challenged the statewide stay-at-home order. Last week, Michigan's governor issued stricter rules and extended the state's social distancing measures through the end of April.
And speaking of New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, he's sending 50 ventilators to our state. He says he will never forget the generosity people across the country showed to New York. So he wants to return that favor. More than 100 ventilators are also being sent to Michigan.
A Maryland company is stepping in, hoping to help get more N95 respirator masks into the hands of frontline workers. The Frederick-based InPro Technologies has been talking with the FDA to use a prototype that can disinfect and decontaminate more than 1,000 masks per hour and up to 25,000 masks per day. Last week, Governor Hogan announced a PPE decontamination site opening at BWI that would clean 80,000 N95 masks a day.
6:38 now. Six Flags America is also joining the fight against COVID-19. They have donated more than 1,400 ponchos to Johns Hopkins Unified Command Center in Baltimore. And officials say the ponchos will be distributed as needed to various nursing home personnel in the region. WJZ has everything you need to know about the coronavirus pandemic all in one place. You can go to WJZ.com and look under top stories for a list of resources. Plus, the most important links and numbers are under quick links. You can find it all at WJZ.com.